Hello, you beautiful human, and welcome back to your daily pick-me-up message before we get into one of these beautiful card decks to have a look at what God, Universe, Spirit needs you to know at this point in time, whenever you happen to watch this, right here, right now. Do not even get me started. I can't believe I'm making a freaking video about this topic either, but here we are. This is something that way too little people talk about, and that is the concept of false twin flames. I know I'm cringing on the inside as well, but since I just came out of it, I feel very equipped, somewhat equipped to talk about and just share like my personal experience, knowing full well that those that resonate with it will resonate with it. So you either have experienced something similar already, you're currently in a false twin flame situation but are not aware of it yet, or this is just simply something to look out for when you encounter like romantic prospects of yours. So you take your pick. I just know that like God was so stern with me. He was like, sit down, you need to talk about it. So here I am, sitting down, talking about it. And oh my gosh, there's so much to unpack here, especially when it comes to like the whole freaking stigma about like what twin flames are, how they're gonna feel like, how the journey's gonna look like, blah 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 blah. Like if you're on that spiritual journey, like you have had your fair share, right, of just like input, and that obviously like did something to your brain, like, and conditioned you to basically be like, oh yeah, I will know exactly who my twin flame is then, because there are signs, right? And there are all these videos and all this content out there just like bombarding us. Well, it certainly did not do me any favor. Because, okay, this is a bit dramatic, because literally like this experience that I went through the past couple of months has been the greatest blessing, and I will tell you why. But before I get into like what to look out for and how it presented itself to me, use your own discernment. I'm not able to generalize anything because each of our journeys are so freaking individual. It's just, there might be parallels that you're gonna be able to pick up on. And yeah, so let's talk about it. A little bit of background to me, and like I originally thought when I met my false twin that I was healed, that I was so good on the love apartment. Like I had like an encounter like a couple of weeks prior to meeting him, and I was like, yeah, that's done. Like, I'm so detached. Like, I don't need love. Like, I'm so good by myself. I'm just gonna pour love into myself. Fast forward a couple of weeks, that man enters my life, and I'm like, completely focused on him. And I'm like, that's him. And to, like, honestly, that's why I said, like, this freaking concept of twin flames, like, there's so much content out there, right? Because I was like, the signs are signing. Like, he has such, like, similar like journey to me, like what he values and all these things. So I build this up more and more and more. Why is this important? Because I can already like tell you what happened. I projected on his ass to a degree where in the past, like I've done this with like partners, like potential romantic partners before, where I was still like unaware and unawake, asleep. In the sense that I was just romanticizing the shit out of them. I was falling in love with potential, not taking their word for what they actually were at and what they were saying. I was completely like blindsided. Sounds familiar? Yeah, I cannot be the only one. It's very human, because like love is like the one thing that we are all just craving so much. The problem is, what we've been conditioned to believe is that we need to seek love outside of ourselves instead of focusing the love on ourselves first. Why am I saying it? Because this whole journey of me like truly believing like he was the one, he's my twin, only was working because I was desperately seeking love outside of myself. Because Like that was it. I was like, this is the one. Like finally I found the one. I've been single like my whole life, by the way. I'm 29. So there were only ever like situationships and never being chosen, and there was always something off. And then when I met him, I was like, he's the one. And if you're currently like, okay, this is my perspective, right? I know what I did. I fell in love with his potential. I'm just like romanticizing the whole thing and made up visions of our future together, like all of it. All of it, all of it, all of it. You're like, okay, but obviously like it takes two to tango, right? Like how was it possible for you to not have the epiphany that he's not the one that you're meant to spend your life with? Well, so universe, God, father, mother, like they knew exactly what they needed to do because we were a perfect match. I was the one desperately seeking love outside of myself and was just like never being chosen in the past. And I was like, oh, this is the one. Meet someone that was always way too quick to give love, because like in his upbringing, it was the matter of like the more love I give, that will make me worthy of receiving love. So there was like a huge disconnect, as in like the healing that he needed to do in order to realize that he needs to pour love into himself first, and he's worthy of love like no matter what. It's not linked to a certain output or what he needs to provide, no, not at all. So when I jumped on his ass and was just like, yeah, I love you, like he was like, I love you too. Like, to put it very easily, I can laugh about it now, but literally it was very intense. Like I was in it, like I was literally like in my own movie. That's how I realized like how awesome, like freaking powerful the mind is, because it took me a while. So what you need to look out for, okay? There will be certain subtle hints that your higher self is already telling you, like, this is off. This is off. This is important because there's gonna be a point where you have like a huge epiphany and be like, oh my god, like that is not my person. Because that is exactly what happened to me. So you're gonna, along the journey, there will be like things where you're like, this doesn't really add up. Like what he sees for his vision, like for his life, and what I always knew I deserved and was worthy of. Oh, but never mind, let me brush that aside because I love, and this is him. See what I'm doing there? Like completely unhealthy, okay? But anyhow, that was me. And the beautiful thing also is with like the whole like twin flame journey stigma, separation is a huge thing. I knew this, so I was like, oh gosh dang it, because I met him like online. So I didn't have like physical contact with him, as in I could read his energy like right away. That all served its purpose, because when it then came to, and it was like about like 1 week ago or so, that we finally met in person, the freaking ruse was up. Like that was when the veil was just like whoop, and I saw everything for what it was, and it smacked me in my face. I was like, what the fuck? That is not him. Because like his energy like doesn't even like match the energy of like my divine masculine, like my twin that like I've been around like for so freaking long. So I was like, oh, okay, this is weird, because there's literally no attraction, no spark, no nothing. I looked at him and I was like, that feels like a brother to me, which is kind of insane because, like, you can only imagine like the months leading up to that, like I was so smitten, you know, and there was just like so much love and chemistry there, but it's like, we were just like projecting onto one another, both sides, which led then to like a clusterfuck. But what I really want to like emphasize here, this journey was wild, and I can be kind of glad that it never went like more intimate than it did, because I know for a fact, like coming out, like I came out like very unscattered, like not scarred from it, barely grieving any of it. It was more the sense of, okay, well, back to the drawing board, right? Like I know better now. I will continue pouring into myself now. And that's exactly what I'm focusing on now. Knowing, and that's the thing, like you think you're detached, right? But oftentimes you have to put into situations where you can like finally break patterns and everything. And I'm so freaking grateful for him. Like he feels like a brother, like that's family. And I'm still like in touch with him. Like we're so good. It was the greatest blessing because like what he was able to do for me was like so much. Like he brought me back to him, to God, to the remembrance. I got full on body chills. He made it safe for me to love again, to trust and to surrender, and to let in intimacy. Okay. This obviously like is very specific, and I don't even know if you're still watching at this point because it's like I'm just like telling you my story about it. But these false twin flame journeys, at least like in my experience now, the last couple of months, they were the final preparation for me now to meet my actual life partner, my twin flame, my counterpart. Like I don't even give a shit about labels anymore because I just know, like when I encounter him, I will know, and he will know just as much, and it's done. Because that is how it's supposed to be. No second guessing, no like, this feels off. No, my lovely, if you need to check in with yourself, maybe do that. If I'm supposed to be the messenger and activate you in that way, please. I know why I'm recording this for me, because I need to transmute it and speak it and just like clear it. Because with the shift that happened yesterday, if you watched yesterday's video, like I came into freaking union with myself. That is the shift. That is the shift, and I just had like the epiphany this morning. So that means I'm like whole now. So it's only a matter of time until that like inner union is being reflected now on the outside, but I'm not gonna waste time like waiting around. No. What I'm pouring into now is me and my purpose and the vision and the legacy that I see myself like leaving for my kids, their kids, future generations in general. Because we're here to do big things. I know this, you don't know this. It's just embarking on this, we're not meant to do this alone. We have our beautiful, perfect counterpart that is meant to withstand it all and that we're meant to grow with. It's just that the person that I met a couple of like months ago didn't end up being that person. And that is completely fine. But I'm also well aware again that it's so individual, these journeys. And if you need to make time for proper grieving, you do that. The most important part is like coming out of like a false twin flame journey, like experience, is like making peace with it, releasing it, and not letting it harden your heart or just like go back into like, I need to protect. No, open. That was the whole reason for it. Like it was meant to blast all like the last like layers and blockages open of your heart space. You're there. So see it as a beautiful gift that it is. And if you're like, oh my gosh, well, I hope this is not happening for me. You don't know that. Only God knows that, literally. Like, if that's meant to be part of your journey, it's going to be part of your journey, then you're going to think of me. Feel free to save this video to come back to at a later point in time. So that is that. That was so specific. I don't even know what type of message now will come through. If it's like related to love, if it's just related to, we're gonna have a look, okay? Because this was obviously very specific, but I wanna leave you with a little treat. Not just like dump my story time on your ass. No, let's see. Please let me know if this resonated at all. Like, I don't even know what I'm speaking about. Like, I'm just an open vessel. I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. Literally. Okay, let's see. What do you need to know right now? What do you need to know right now? Whenever you happen to watch this. This is a long one, huh? But this all just had to be said. Because it sets myself free. Okay, I'm just having to sit with that for a second. Oh, I love this. I get full of body chills. This is a beautiful reminder. This goes for all type of healing, shadow work, because quite literally, like these experiences aren't always just like checkpoints, right? Like, okay, have you learned your lesson? Yes, perfect. Please proceed. No, okay, please resolve this, and then you can go. It's like never ending, and it's so fine because the heavy lifting we've done, like we know. So everything that's coming up now is like very, very small that we need to address in our subconscious. Why am I saying it? Because can you see, with the village, what this reminds me of is like, we oftentimes have to wander into our subconscious, like willingly or unwillingly, like we're being put in like the experiences and situations either way, to find the beauty in it, the gift in it, that we didn't even know we needed. That's a funny thing, like we're just being, it's like a detour that we didn't necessarily ask for, but our highest self knows 100% that we need it. And then we go there completely unaware how much of a blessing it was to actually have that detour in the first place. But again, like this epiphany, like this knowledge, you only have when? At the freaking end of it, right? When you're like on the other side, you're like, oh, wait, I'm so grateful that this happened. This is giving the energy of it. And then, oh, I feel like such a huge womb activation right now. That is freaking beautiful. Like divine feminines, like women. This is where you want to live. Yes. It all leads you back to just like heart and womb. And like for men, it's your heart space that you're being guided back to, which is freaking incredible. I didn't even say what this energy is about, but on the bottom of the deck, can you see? It's called the One. This is just a confirmation that there is a special someone out there for you. And if you haven't met them yet, they are coming in, okay? Just, I know we're all like hopeless romantics over here because pot meets kettle, like we're just reflections of one another. It's like, don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. No, hold on to that vision stronger and stronger and stronger. Just like, because you're worth it. You know your worth now. You know what you deserve, and you only ever deserve the picture perfect fairy tale love that you always envisioned for yourself. Point blank. Point blank. Anything else is not allowed in. You know this. God, universe, your spirit guides know this. So this can just be reassurance for you. Nothing to worry about. You're just here to vibe in the meantime. Be present. Watch your beautiful journey unfold. It's the most beautiful story ever written. Wouldn't you agree? But with that said, I'm feeling called to wrap this daily pick-me-up message up here now. As always, let me know if it resonated. I know it's so freaking specific, but I just needed to film it. This was the only download that I've gotten during my meditation this morning, so I was like immediately like, okay, yes, I will talk about it. Because speaking our truth, also throat chakra, so present, right? So this is just me honoring that. And this is also obviously then just a message in itself for you as well. But go crazy in the comment section. I always love reading them, engaging with you guys. So yeah, looking forward to reading the comment section under this one for sure. But as always, have yourself a beautiful, wonderful rest of the day. And I cannot wait to see your beautiful face in one of the next upcoming videos, which is going to be tomorrow because I'm posting every single day for the entirety of 111 days. So if you want to see more of my face, this is one way to do so. But yeah, take care of yourself, and I love you very, very much. Bye-bye. I truly hope that this freaking topic hasn't come across like insensitive or any, because I personally know of like false twin flame situations that were like very dark and like dangerous, like life threatening. which for me it wasn't the case, but it's like, that's why I mean when I say like I cannot generalize it, but obviously I want to hold space and like just share what I experienced to make you feel less alone. Like that has been my main motivation with like these videos from the get-go. It's like bring clarity, bring confirmation, and just like make you realize that being on this journey, being on this path, like there's so many of us. There's so many of us, and you will see that in the comment sections. Also, if you're feeling called to like dive deep into like community and just like being surrounded by soul family, you might want to click on the link first in my description box. We have a beautiful like private sacred community of the rising souls of the collective, of those that are meant to usher in the new earth, like leaders, guides, like healers. We're everything and nothing. Like it's hard to put labels on us, right? But it's like we're on the precipice, we're on the forefront of this huge change that we're gonna see. And it's starting small. It's starting like very quiet, but the revolution is here. Like we know this, we feel this. And if you're connected to my energy, you're part of it. And then it's just a matter of you deciding if you wanna nurture a community at this point or not. This is just me sharing the offer. So no pressure whatsoever. I obviously love you no matter what. But I would, like, it would be a disservice of me not to share with you what we have to offer, because I know like the huge value that is being provided in that group every single day. And tomorrow we're having our weekly community Zoom call, which like this is the freaking highlight of every single week. So if you check it out now, like it's 11-day completely free. So you can just like have a look for yourself if you're vibing with us. Yeah, this is for example happening, and I'm so excited for that. This is it. I'm gonna go now. If you made it to the very end of this video, let's be cutesy. Let's comment a ring for the confirmation that we are meant to be on like planet mission with our divine counterpart, whatever label you want to give it. That is just a commitment right there for a freaking lifetime and for future lifetimes, you know, because that's also a thing. Past lifetime, it's just like, actually now that I said it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is my last incarnation. I'm not gonna come back here. If everything is aligning exactly and I'm doing like the freaking thing that I'm meant to do here is done, might be the case for you as well. Anyhow, I'm rambling. I'm gonna catch breakfast now, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Bye bye. I love you. I love you. Let me get out of this.